Everyone, and today's topic is about budgeting. I had quite a bit of people ask me, hey, how do you calculate, what are you spending a month and how much it costs? So this is really about people that make like $3,000 a month, all right? And it's geared more to a single person. I'll do another one. I'm doing, a course for people overseas, people that have kids, but this one is strictly for like if you're single and you have a home. All right, and I'm really excited about it because it took me a long time to kind of get it to this point, think about it, the planning and all the stuff. And first of all, let me just say, if you have Google Drive, go ahead and just open simple. You don't even have to write it down like this. I just put it here nice and big so you could see it, right? But you go into SkyDrive, Google Play Drive, and just simply open an Excel spreadsheet and put it down there, right? So, and I did it based on 3,000 because that's considered kind of high end of the average pay in Cayman. So again, for my overseas friends, this can be considered average salary, kind of. The average salary in Cayman Islands is about 2,500, roughly, right? So I just did 3,000 here to kind of be for people that get over the average, yeah? So first of all, say you're making $3,000 a month as a single person, all right? Firstly, and I know some of you guys can think this is a joke, but yeah, food. And that's with, I'm not considering eating out. That's just groceries at home, all right? And I'll do another video of, again, as single people, how you can get to this budget here by different recipes and stuff you try. But you gotta work hard in Grand Cayman. And again, I say that because I do have friends overseas and I want to make sure that we're being exactly relative here. 250 CI, and that's what really saving it. Really cooking and stuff a lot. All right. So down to your 3,250. All right. So now you're down to 2,700. And again, some of you guys can't see the screen, so I'll repeat the numbers. Plus, some people want it on audio. They just want the podcast of it, so I'm having to call out the numbers for those people that are also transcribing it onto their podcasts. All right. So electricity. Say you live in a 2-bedroom house. Okay. Electricity, and these are all conservative figures, guys. This is with people being very conscious of money and being very intelligent about money spending and watching their costs, right? So $100 on electricity, that's assuming you have, say, a 2-bedroom apartment, house or apartment, say 1,300 square foot, and assuming you have, good inverter type ACs. All right, now I'll talk about, efficient ACs in another video altogether. So that's, you're done $100 off per month. It's gonna, at least $100 off. It's gonna take you, say again, you're sharing 2-bedroom, or you have a 2-bedroom, even apartment with 2 people, right? So you don't have to be at home, but say if you're staying in an apartment. So now you're down to $2,650 a month. All right, then water. Water, again, typical costs each person, and I've kind of tracked that over the years. That's about $30 a month. And again, that's being sensible, it's being real sensible with water, showers, cooking. All right, now at $2,620. Now, health insurance. All right, the best, and again, if you don't have health insurance, guys, what happens is then you have to wind up, and if you don't exercise and take care of yourself, and illness can happen to anybody, right? But sometimes, a lot of times, it's preventable. But so your health insurance is going to cost you $281. That's a single person again. All right. If you work for companies, a lot of times they'll chip in and help you pay half of that. Okay, or if you're with a good company, have a lot of benefits, a lot of times they'll pay the total thing. But I thought of adding it in again as a single person, the Cayman Islands, based on that salary, based on, again, or without kids, that's what we're looking at. So now we're down to $23.39. Now, gas or transport. If you are, say if you have your own car, that's about gas. Again, that's 525 CI in Grand Cayman. that's, you're looking at about 80, assuming you have a nice little small efficient car too, like a 6-cylinder. If you have one of those big 8-cylinder turbo stuff that I see some of the guys want to be with, it's going to cost you more than that. So again, this is kind of like a $60 every 10 days, roughly. We're looking at $180 you're going to spend on gas. So guys, you may as well have a budget, right? If you don't have a budget, I'm seeing, and again, as a child advocate myself, care deeply about our community and about kids. If you don't have a budget, people are having kids, and then they're realizing how hard it is, and they're saying they're going to have to ask for financial support, and they're crying. Kids are going to school without lunch money. So if you have a budget, I think it allows you to think seriously about before you get married and start a family. Okay, so just thought of doing that. Next, then we are now down to so your insurance on gas, right? Then you're talking about also if you want a car, if you have a bus, if you take a bus, you're still roughly, assuming you need to take transport 7 days a week. I know 5 days a week we work, but there are a lot of times on 7 days because you need to go to church on weekends or Saturday outing, you got to take a bus. It's $2.50 each way, $5 round trip to get back home. All right, so if you don't have a car, you still have transport costs. Then next, you want to also, your car needs to be insured. So a third-party car, a car that's worth, say 6, 7, 8, 9, say 9,000, yeah, and assuming you had no accidents, assuming that you were one of those young people who didn't, don't wreck your cars, and therefore your insurance is a lot more expensive. So again, that's, taking good care of your insurance. Then with a 60% no claims bonus, you can get a car, you can get insurance for about $450 for the year, yeah, roughly. And so if you divide $450 on insurance a year, you're at about $40 a month is what's costing you to insure your car for the year, right? So you take off $40, you're done at $21.16. Now, also, then you got to license your car, and you're looking at about $15 a month. You spread that over a year, and again, you do all your budgets. You can do it a year, but it's a wise thing to do it in 30 days, and then of course you further break it down into a 1-week plan. Yeah, so roughly a month is costing you what did we say? For licensing, $15. All right, now we're at $2,100. Now you also want to build in. You want to build in a little bit of money, say $20 a month, guys, because cars break down, tires wear out, brake pads gone, alternator gone. So what do you do then? What do you do, right? When you have, you need repair on your car. All right, so then, so put away a little amount for the repairing of your car, $20 a month. All right, so a lot of us, we try to have, a lot of financial planners, not that I'm one at all. I'm simply helping people who ask to have, talk about the budget, right? So rather than me doing one person, we went ahead and do a video so that a lot of people can see it, right? And anybody who want to get even much deeper into that, we'll create a course for them if you guys even want to drill down even closer. All right, so then we're next to, so again, build it in. Next, then we're talking about shelter or mortgage. You need to over your head, you need to live somewhere, right? So whether you rent or whether your mortgage, okay? But you want to kind of get in your head, look at it as a homeowner, because if you have a 2-bedroom in any decent neighborhood nowadays, half decent neighborhood, it's gonna cost you about $1,500. All right, so that'll be like $750. If you share that 2-bedroom with 2 people. Now we're not talking about people that different nationalities where people live in 5 and 6 people in a 2-bedroom. We're not talking about that. That's no lifestyle as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, so we're talking about, again, because you need to think in your head, what it's going to cost me to have a mortgage, okay, to have a roof over my head. And again, you might say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna get married, and lots of people dream of that, and that's great. They think of, I'm gonna get married and I'll have someone else, a husband, a wife, split the mortgage with me. But you still need to think in your head and on paper what it costs you, because unfortunately relationships break up, right? People get divorced, boyfriend, girlfriend split up, and so therefore you still need a roof over your head. So you need to think in your budget, of what if you are solo, you get left alone to support yourself or have a roof over your head. All right, and then also, so I came up with $1,400 for the month. All right, and again I did that because based on if you have, say, a $250,000 mortgage, you know, at 5.25% interest rate, say 25-year mortgage, that's kind of what it's going to cost you guys, about $1,400. And I'm talking about not a fancy home at all. I'm talking about a standard, I call it middle class people, that you're talking about at least about $250,000 a month. Sorry, $250,000 roughly for the home. And I do know, yes, some people can inject pension into that and make the amount you're borrowing less too. But so I use that $250,000 as a kind of realistic figure, I think. And then on top of that, don't forget also, then you have to insure your house, right? Because what happens in case of a hurricane, fire, you don't want to be, listen, life can happen and a lot of us can't prevent, a lot of times we cannot prevent some things are unforeseen, but a lot of times it's just about us looking ahead, being responsible, not living reckless, and realizing that, okay, what do we do in case, how do we plan in case of an emergency? Because it's all about lifestyle, guys. I think it's embarrassing when you gotta go, it's very embarrassing, I think, when you gotta go ask for help and ask for, you know, social services to help you out. And again, you know, people can fall into difficulties through an illness, something like that, and they lose their home. That's different. That's kind of unforeseen, right? But otherwise, not a lot of times can be prevented just by thinking seriously about, you know, the amount of kids I have, when to start kids, how do I care for my car, how do I pay, how do I schedule myself in case that in a home is just me with a mortgage over my head, right? That if the husband leave, whatever, wife leave, you can take care of your again, the mortgage over your head, all right, or the shelter over your head. What else? And then again, a lot of times you can, if you're single, you can rent out your 2-bedroom, and so that amount can be half. But I looked at it again simply as getting people to think ahead, that if they got married, split that, if they got a divorce, can they still hold a mortgage then on their own? Because that, and a lot of times that's what's happening. Relationships break up and people are left alone by themselves to pay a mortgage, and that's why I think you're having a lot of foreclosures. So if you get people ahead of time to think, how can I structure myself here that if somebody walks up on me, I can still keep the roof over my head, okay? And I say, Mike, I take that very, that's a sentimental thought to me, or that's a serious thought to me, and it brings me emotions because, again, I love little kids, and I see a lot of them into really rough circumstances of life, and a lot of that is because, you know, at some point it's two people, you know, husband, wife, or boyfriend, girlfriend, and then that falls apart, and then one person is alone, left alone then to carry the load, all right? All right, so next and last, then that brings you down to $681. Then, so you also have, oh, did we cover that? Can't remember. Shelter, wrong, sorry, insurance for your apartment or house, sorry, your home, because landlords supposed to take care of, you know, if you are having a rental property, okay? And we'll have another video on that, because that's another story. That's something you need to double check on if you're renting. So insurance a year on something like $250,000 house, it's gonna cost you roughly guys, about $3,000 a year, roughly, right? and it depends on, you know, what deductible and all that you choose on, whether you want 2% or 3%. So I'm saying build in now $250 also for insurance on your home in case of fire, in case of a hurricane. You want to be covered, guys. So again, that if emergency, life happens to all of us, every single one of us. Life happens. Was a fire, was a divorce, was a hurricane. You want to, as they say, cover your backside as much as you possibly can, right? Plan ahead. That determines, again, what kind of life we're living based on how sensible and intelligent we think about life, yeah? So there you go, you're down to $481 a month that you should be left out. And again, that's assuming you have no kids at all, as just a single person. You should be left about $431 a month. All right, now that $431 a month, and don't feel like, wow, that's great. I have a lot of money left, because no, you want to plan on vacation. You want to use that for, you want a vacation about once a year at least, right? Or two, you want to or invest. You might want to take $100 out of that and put it in some long-term investment, yeah, for when you get 65 again, that you have a decent, half decent type of life, that you're having somebody to care for you properly, that sort of thing. Or again, I really work. I mean, that's probably like $350 a month is what you're gonna be left with, because again, trust me, to eat for $250 a month, you gotta do a lot of cooking at home. In Cayman Islands, I see my friends, that I have friends in the US, and they tell me it's $100 a month if they're not eating out, right? If they're just groceries and not hair in Cayman. So there you go, down the bottom there. Oh, you also got to remember, in the $400 that we say we're going to be left over, don't forget, again, you have Christmas coming up, you're going to want to spend, so you got to have a little fun there. Emergency, a car that we budgeted $20 a month for. What if it's a bigger issue? What if you have a $1,000 repair job on your car? You need to be able to not be in a position, you got to ask somebody, or you got to go ask, you know, a friend to lend you money. Just it's all about taking responsibility for our own lives, guys, and caring about what we do, thinking about what we do, so again, that we have a decent lifestyle, that we're not having to go and ask somebody for help. And it can happen in life, it really, really can happen. I'm just saying, let's work at how we can prevent as much of it as possible, all right? And so again, lastly, you also want clothes, shoes. We didn't put in no miscellaneous. These are kind of just things that you really need to live off of, yeah? And basic necessities. So you want to have where some little thing is left on there for eating out also, you know, treating yourself, entertainment, once a month or whatever, clothing, shoes. So it's really about basic necessities that I did this budget on. And so again, I hope it helps many of you guys who had asked about it, and I'll be doing some other budgets then based on 2 people, or if you have a kid, it totally changes the ball game. All right, but just thought I'd do this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. At the end of my channel, subscribe, because I'll be releasing more videos that help us out as people, families, friends, to have a better life. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye for now. All right.